Howdy RC pilots, welcome to the channel where I try to fly as realistically as possible without getting you motion sick. Today we are flying FPV formation with another PC-21 from FMS. Beautiful planes. And with Michelle Nolan as our lead pilot flying line of sight and her avatar, Blondie, sitting on the front seat of the other PC-21. Here we have a shot of me sitting down looking at the extra, getting on the active runway for takeoff. So we're number 2 and number 3. So Dave's sitting down behind me as my spotter and Jin standing next to Michelle as her spotter. Pre-flight check, we have flaps at half, control rates for all 3 axes at half, with expo about 40%. That's to make sure that we are flying as smoothly as possible, as realistically as possible. Oh, notice the beautiful instrument panel. A shout out to Anthony Barreras for making that for me. The instrument panel was meant to go on my PC-21 last year. Unfortunately that crashed, so I had to get another one so the instrument panel could find a home. Thanks again, Anthony. Returning viewers will find that it's my first time doing commentary on video. That's because I want to share what I've learned so far flying FPV and formation. So hopefully you guys will find it useful. In this profile view, notice that is the level altitude for the PC-21 on the ground as well as in the air. Notice the pilot's eye level is lined up with the top of the prop as well as with the horizon. That's an important reference for level flight in cruise as well as for landing. We'll get to that in a little bit. Another look at the pilot's eye level and top of the prop on the takeoff run. So here we go. Gears up, flaps up. In the first couple laps flying formation with a new lead pilot, don't be in a hurry to close the distance. Just hang back and observe what the lead pilot likes to do. See what speed she likes to fly at and what bank angle and turn rate she likes to use. And also observe any quirky behavior or habits that she might have. Like for example, there Michelle turned left before she turned right, and you don't want to be caught off guard when that happens flying too closely. So once I get comfortable with Michelle's flying style, I can finally move into a relative stable position next to her. In this case, since our turns are to the right, I like to stay on the left side, trailing about 45 degrees and slightly below. I find that this gives me the best side picture of relative movement against her aircraft, and also I'm staying well clear of the way if she does anything abruptly. So I think it's the easiest and safest position, and also what feels the most natural. So once in position, for me to stay here, obviously I need to match closely with her straight line speed, and in the turns I have to increase throttle since I'm tracing a bigger arc on the ground track, and as soon as she levels out, I need to back off on throttle to match her speed again. And again in the turns, need to speed up. Here she's pulling ahead, getting ready to do a roll. So increasing throttle, pitching up 30 degrees and roll. But I did not anticipate how far she was going to drop in that and completely lost sight of her. And just for 1 second, she's way off. So this will take us about another lap just to catch up and rejoin and at a stable position again. As exciting as it is for me to try to stay in formation, we have to keep in mind that for the line of sight lead pilot, she is essentially just doing racetrack pattern at a constant speed. So this gets a little monotonous for her after a few laps. So we need to throw in something different just to keep things interesting. So here, let's try a loop. So going full throttle and pulling up. And I'm falling behind. Probably because I'm carrying a bigger battery and extra camera and VTX and just the FPV stuff. So I don't have quite the vertical performance. And here I caught up again. And speeding up, during the turns, and in anticipation, leveling out, slow down, and not quite enough, too close. So I should have broke away on the first side picture and with the closure rate so high, and I stayed with it for too long. So there was purely luck that I didn't run into her. After the flight, I asked Michelle, and she told me at the closest probably we got to was about 5 feet. It definitely seemed a lot closer than that in the video, and it was purely luck that I didn't hit her. So after a shake-up like that, it takes both pilots a little bit longer to calm down and rebuild confidence again. And after that, we probably don't want to get too close. So as the flight winds down, I'm relaxing my hold in position and just relaxing my mind a little. And I'd like to offer a few suggestions for FPV flyers that would like to give formation a try. First of all, find a friend that is a very smooth stick with lots of patience, willing to fly racetrack patterns for you to chase round after round. Second of all, hopefully the lead aircraft is of comparable performance as your FPV rig, and with a brightly colored scheme. Military gray and silver and camouflage are really hard to see, and so I try to avoid those, at least in the beginning. Third, start out slow. I mean, flying comfortably at say 50% throttle is a good point to start. Too fast, and then any small deviations, you end up with too much displacements to cover. So here we see Michelle make an approach for the runway, and we're extending a little farther for a more realistic view. With a slower speed, my flight path has dropped below the top of the propeller arc to about a quarter below. And with that as my aiming point, I'm headed toward the runway. And as the runway expands exponentially, I run out and flare. Touchdown, and it was a greaser. Also close to this runway center line, but I know Michelle was in the middle, so I didn't want to stay on the center line. As Michelle is headed back toward the pits, I want to wait until she's beamed the wing before I make the turn to ensure that I don't run into her. And with that, audience, thank you much for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed the formation and the many tips that I've offered to help make your FPV formation experience a success. If you enjoyed the contents today, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you're gonna notice when I release my video next. Thank you, Michelle, for flying smoothly and patiently for me to chase in this formation video. And thank you, Jean and Dave, for spotting. Until next time, see ya.